thanks for being back. Today we're going to be doing tensioning and showing you guys how to untension and tension your track and set it at the right tension for operating on the UTVs with the 4S1s. This will be the same as the T4Ss also. So we will show you a rear track to start with, and then we will bring in a front track. So that way you will know after this video what the proper tensioning is when operating these tracks. So doing this, I'm going to use hand tools. I know a lot of people doing this probably doesn't have power tools, so I want to do it with hand tools. You're going to want a 19 mil wrench. It can be ratcheting or non-ratcheting. And then you're going to want a socket also 19, and preferably not deep, because on the fronts, the rear is okay, but on the fronts is don't have much room to work with. So you'll want a shallow socket like this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to untension this set nut. This back bogey wheel is the one that slides to work like a bicycle chain on doing its tension. So you're going to want to undo this. You don't want to take it all the way off. You just want to loosen it up so it'll jiggle around, and that'll release the slide to be able to suck the tire back and forth that controls the tension. All right, now you can see this is loose, not holding that slide anymore. Now we're going to take this socket and we're just going to get right on this. And if you do have a electric hand one, that's preferable, but I just wanted to show you with manual because this is what probably people are going to be using on the trail. Okay, so I'm not going to go all the way on this video, but now you can see how much slop this track has. You can see how the tires have come in, and now this track is very loose. So now we're going to adjust it out where we would like to have it for operating tension. With these, why this is pretty crucial to have operating good and proper tension on these tracks. With Camso design, they use tension to hold the teeth to the cogwheel in the track. So if you don't have the right tension, it's not like some tracks, the cogwheel will go through the track when driving it. So on this one, you need to have proper tension because you'll start jumping teeth, where other ones you can run looser because the actual cogwheel is going through the track and isn't as crucial on proper tension. And just like anything, it's just righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. That's the same with this bogey wheel on adjustment. Now, just like anything, there's a couple of things to watch for when tightening this up that could give you false. Make sure that the high fax is running between the teeth of the track that hook to the cogwheel. So make sure that the track is properly sitting, or the frame of the track is properly sitting in the track itself. So that way, and then also up here, the teeth are meshing with the cogwheel. You want that. If the teeth are jumped or up top, you're going to tension it up, and then once it pops, then your track is going to be loose and not at the right tension. So make sure that the teeth are meshed properly and that your high fax of the track and the bogey wheels are centered on the teeth. So that way everything, when you tension up, everything is seated properly. What you're going for on the rear is you want no more than 1 inch of play. So you'll have your center line, is what I call it, where the track is resting. You don't want to be able to push it more than 1 inch or pull it more than 1 inch back and forth from its center line. We're getting close here. This track is broken in two. The tracks will seat, and if it's a brand new track, I run it just a little bit on the tight side, just because the track they don't stretch hardly at all, but they do seat and loosen up a little bit. So I run it just a hair tighter if it's a brand new track. This track has been used and off of one of our machines, so we're about there. I might just go a hair tighter. All right, perfect. This is where I like to run them. You got about that center line, and you can see we push, and you're only getting about 3/4 of an inch to an inch max. But I'd say 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch is your ideal tension on running on these. So we'll go ahead, now that it's at the tension that we like, we'll now do the set nut and tighten that back up so it doesn't allow the adjustment to move one way or the other. And just like that, this track is good to go now. And this is for each side. This is every model that's out there. So it doesn't matter if you have a Kawasaki, Yamaha, anything, that's just what you're gonna wanna run the tracks at. So now we got the front track. This is the 4S one, this was the same adjustment as you would do on a T4S also. So yeah, on the rear track, it's the rear bogey wheel. On the front track, it's the front bogey wheel. So you got the same thing, 19 mil nut there, and then you have the 19 mil adjuster bolt. So this is where I was telling you you're gonna need a short. You don't want a deep socket just because there's so little room in here to get that onto the bolt. So we'll go ahead and loosen this up. Now we got that loose. We're gonna go back onto this adjuster nut or bolt. Now we'll watch this bogey wheel is gonna start coming in. So now you can see this is, almost ready to come off. We bring it in a little bit more, we're going to derail the track, but just for showing you proper tension and how to tension it. Now that it's loose, we're going to just adjust it and tighten it back up to where we want it for operating procedures. So this one, being that it's shorter from the cog wheel to the bogey wheel versus the rear. So the rear is going to have just a little more play because it's a longer distance between the cog wheel and bogey wheel. This one is going to feel a little bit tighter just because there's not as much distance between the two bogey wheels. So this is still on the loose side. I'm going to tighten her up a little bit more. Maybe just this is feeling pretty good. Give her just a little bit more. All right, so you can see is where it's neutral line, like I was explaining before, like a bicycle chain. You're going to want to push and pull. And with this front track, all I want is about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of each way of play. That'll give you right where you want to be on not having any cog wheel ratcheting. That's where you'll hear them popping. And then also a track walking off, like if you drift a corner on accident or side hilling, it's being at the proper, you're not going to walk a track off as easy. So yeah, this one's pretty good. I like it. So now we're going to tighten up the set nut, which is up top, which will, like we just explained in the rear, won't let this loosen or tighten. There you go. That is how easy it is for the T4Ss and the 4S1s. This is how you would do your adjustment, and this is where I like to run them, and we've had very good success at running them at these tensions. So I hope this helped you. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll have more content coming and more help videos. So like always, we'll see you at the top.